Hi guys, this is my first YouTube video. If you like the content, please subscribe and comment below any improvements. It would be much appreciated. For the last 10 years, I've been a professional poker player, playing mid-stakes cash games predominantly. I've been streaming for the last 10 months on Twitch at Peter804. You can find that in the info below. Hopefully I can help some of you guys out. Today's video is going to be the 3 biggest mistakes I feel that micro-stakes cash game players make. So the first mistake that I think a lot of micro-stakes cash game players make is not noting players enough. I've seen this on multiple people's screens, and I've noticed that a lot of people don't know who they're playing against, and the pool in micro-stakes is so large that you're gonna forget most of the players you're playing against. Obviously, you'll know the regulars, but not all of them, and it's extremely important to note players. As you can see on the screen right now, I have about 10 different notes. And I think it's very important to go in depth with each specific thing. As you can see, I have 5 different notes for regulars and I have 5 different notes for recreationals. I think this generally helps with 2 reasons. One, pre-flop. If you're multi-tabling, you can make a snap decision on the close marginal hands, which, go either way. Secondly, it can help you distinguish between, in post-flop, whether you should be going towards a more GTO strategy, that's game theory optimum, or a more exploit strategy. A lot of people bang on about GTO, GTO, GTO. Depends on who you're playing against. In my notes, as you can see, if I'm playing against a good regular or a winning regular, I will generally go towards more a GTO strategy. Whereas if I'm playing against any of the recreationals or any of the tourney regs maybe as well, but any of the weak regulars, I'll go towards a more exploit strategy. And I think that's quite important, and I think people miss out on value in certain situations otherwise, and having a notes system is very important. Especially with micro-stakes where the pool is so big, if you played a hand against a regular who you think has played a hand awfully, you'll forget about it in a month's time if you haven't noticed it. So if you note him straight away as a weak regular because he's played a hand really badly, you can in future play against him in an exploitative way. If you play against someone who you think is very solid, then you can generally play towards a more GTO strategy, and that can help you out as well. So the next biggest mistake that I think micro-stakes cash game players make is they don't go for enough value in situations. There's 2 options for this. You can go for value against recreationals and value against regs, and they do differ quite a lot, to be honest with you. So here I've got a situation where I would have gone for value against a recreational, and we'll start off the hand. We basically 3-bet isolate a recreational, yellow for us, with king queen. This is extremely important to do to start off with because you want to be playing heads up, you want the imposition, you want the aggression, you get everything you have. Flop is very good. Everyone bets here, pretty much. This should be a clear value bet. Small is fine. We want to keep them in with their floats. They might get spicy. So on. Turn, obviously an extremely good card. Clear value bet again. This is much clearer than some situations. I felt it was an easy way of showing it. River is a jack, right? So the problem with the jack river is obviously, everyone screams, "Oh, he's got queen jack. This is, this is sick. I've got to check back." Okay. They don't think about the range, and I think this is the problem that micro-stakes players make the most against recreationals, especially, is that they don't think about that range, and they think about the hand that they could have, or a reg might show up with queen jack here, for example. Like here against a regular, I would not 3-barrel. Regulars' ranges are much tighter, and you'll get called down with worse. With better, and you won't get called down with worse, pretty much. So this is the difference between recreationals and regs. On this river, if he checks, think about his range. He's got a ton of missed draws, potentially like 5-6, 6-8, which will just fold anyway. That's fine. It doesn't matter. He's got 7x. He's got like 7-8, 9-7, 10-7 probably, Ace-7, King-7 suited, all these kind of hands. Ace-4, 4-3. Queen-10, Queen-9, Queen-8 suited, all these hands. It's very important to realise they have all these hands. You can have pocket 5, 6s, 8. There's so many hands to mention, and then you focus on Queen-Jack, don't you? And Queen-Jack is... Obviously, you can lose to Ace-Queen, you can lose some sets, although a lot of recreationals fast-play sets. So you always... I think the point I'm trying to get across here is most most micro-stakes cash game players will focus on the hands that beat them, and not the hands that you beat. And this is extremely important. So if he checks here, it's a clear-cut jam, because he'll call down with many hands that he should not do. This situation is slightly different, but it was easy to show you guys. he jams into me here. And again, you guys think, oh no, he's got Queen Jack, this is ridiculous. But you got to think about the random combinations that people have. He has, right here, he has, 9 combinations of Queen Jack left, I think it is. He obviously could have Ace Queen or some sets sometimes as well. But if you think about all the random stuff he's got, so here he shows up with Ace 7 off. I think that proves for a start, if he has that, it's just a snap. And I would not put Ace 7 off in his range, but recreationals do this. They just do random stuff, and you can have 5-6, you can have 6-8, as I said. You can have like Ace 10. You can have like anything along these lines, and the value is extremely important here. So the next part is obviously against regulars. Microstakes, a lot of regulars don't bluff, or they don't bluff anywhere near enough. That is a big mistake, although I wouldn't put that in my top 3 big mistakes. The mistake would then be for you not to go for value, because a lot of situations regulars want to go for bluff catchers, and bluff catching is very important at mid stakes, especially in certain situations. The problem at micro stakes is if people aren't bluffing their range, you end up check calling versus their nuts always. So generally, I would go towards the more value heavy lines instead of going towards the bluff catching lines, because the other regs at micro stakes just aren't bluffing enough, and the combinations will not suit you. So generally, I would say as advice, go for a more exploit strategy at the micro stakes, and go for more value and less bluff catching lines. So the third biggest mistake that micro stakes players make is the mental game. The mental game is probably the most important one out of the 3. If you want to be successful at poker long term, you can't have a bad mental game. And this is the biggest difference between micro stakes players, mid stakes, and high stakes players. Myself, my mental game has improved massively over the last 10 years, and I would still class at the stakes I play, 200 to 400 nail games, that I've got one of the better mental games out there. If you watch my Twitch channel, you'll see that I keep a very cool head, and I think it's very important to do that. And I'm sure if you go up to 10k NL stakes, they're going to be even better than me. And it kind of relates. Like if I was to play 1k, 2k NL, my mental game would not be as strong as at 200, 400, because that's the stakes that I'm comfortable at. But my advice on the mental game is to invest in yourself, and also do not be in a rush. If you're in a rush to get up the stakes, if something goes wrong, you're going to just tilt way too hard, and you'll end up losing your bankroll, or you'll end up going down, not up. If time management is not your thing, then poker really isn't for you, because poker, especially cash games, is a long-term thing. If you're looking to still be playing in 2 years' time, then there's no rush to get there. You will get there if you're good enough, and if your mental game is strong enough, you'll get there as well. The first thing I would do if you haven't looked much into your mental game is I would buy Mental Game Poker 1 and 2 by Gerard Tender. I'll put the links in the info below. You'll basically get what you want out of them. They are very good books. I personally listen to the audiobooks instead of reading them, because I find that was easier for the way I learn. But it obviously depends how you learn best. Only you'll know that. Generally, that is the biggest advice I'd give, though, is to invest in yourself, and hopefully that will help. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you liked the video, please subscribe, comment below on how I can improve it, and back shortly. Thank you.